working from home?
Okay, I think for myself, I've been working from home since late March, / early April, actually. And if I may share my experience, I think in the beginning it was very daunting. It was really tough at first, because I think being quite an extrovert and outgoing person myself, I felt really trapped. I felt like there's so much limitation in terms of space, who I can connect with. At one point, especially when things just started, it was much stricter here in Malaysia. So when the movement control order happened, only the head of the family can go out to purchase like necessities, and the rest of you are just supposed to stay at home. And you're not supposed to go out and eat, etc. So I remember finding joy with the simple act of bringing down my garbage to the garbage disposal downstairs, because I live in an apartment. I just feel happy that I get to walk out. And when I saw my neighbors,
Yeah.
I was so happy. I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like with the
Oh,
social
yeah.
distance. So I could feel that he was really happy as well to see me. So it was quite tough at first. Yeah, but I think what helped is developing new routines. Like over time, you kind of figure out what works for you. So you start to have your own routines at home, and over time that helps. So I think things are much better now
Um,
compared to when we first started.
I'm glad.
Sure.
I'm glad, and I'm
Mm.
sure a lot of our viewers can resonate to that as well. Yeah, going to throwing your rubbish at the garbage bin is a big joy. It's like traveling, eh? It is. I'm with you, baby. Pepe, how since
Um,
when? Yeah.
well, for me, it's actually been since 2018. I've been working
Mm.
from home. So when this whole COVID issue came through, I was like, welcome, guys. This is how we do things. Get used to it. So yeah, I started in 2018, and so it's been it has been okay for me, because I'd already been in the routine, so I kind of knew what to do, how to do it. But obviously now, because there were more restrictions, I couldn't do exactly all that I wanted to do. But being who I am, I was enjoying the space of just being at home, because it's flexible. I get to do what I want and when I want to do it. No one really has to control me. And so the COVID thing also gave in that thing of, we're all now starting from the start. We're all going back to the starting point. So wherever you were, calm down, because you find a lot of people are now stressed with the whole world at large, actually, like what's going on. So that whole COVID, as much as it was a disadvantage, it also had its positiveness in that we're all kind of starting all over. So if you're stuck, you're kind of starting again, and presenting yourself out there. So yeah, it's been great for me. And yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievably like that. Yeah.
So it'll be like when COVID happens, like whatever.
Yeah, I don't like, okay. Well, I'm
Welcome to
sad
my
it's COVID, but
welcome to my
that's how
world.
I've been. Yes, yeah, that's my world, exactly.
Just last
That's
year when
that's really interesting to know, Pepe. And but I also just want to share that uh, there's a difference between working from home versus working at home during a crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
working from home, yeah, like you said, maybe in 2018 you have the flexibility, right? Maybe you can park
mm,
yourself in a nice cafe, or you can
mm,
plan your
mm,
time
mm,
here and there without the real restrictions outside. But I think when COVID hit, it's more like everyone is suddenly just being put into a entirely new situation, and you're supposed to work at home during a crisis. And for me, because I'm single, I feel that I can still manage relatively well. But when I see my colleagues who have children, because children are also not supposed to go to school, right? So suddenly
mm.
all of them are at home, and the parents have to decide, like, okay, how now do I manage their timetable, their school timetable? Because the teachers at first were at loss as well. They are not sure how to teach,
Mm.
via online. So a lot of the responsibilities falls on parents. And at the same time, if you happen to be a family who live with who are also caring for your elder parents, that is just triple, you know. You have to take care of your youngest
That's true.
ones, and then you have to take care of your seniors. So I think the stress level for some of my colleagues are really through the walls, you know. I really feel for them.
That
Yeah.
that's true to the core, Wei Wen. Yeah, you know, when I came back last year in November, um, actually last year itself, when I tried back the corporate stint, it's a long story, but you know, go there. I used to how I wish I can work from home. You know, I don't have to deal
Mm.
with the corporate politics. I don't have to deal with the toxic um, boss and, you know, colleagues that, you know, exist in the workplace. And I used to wish that a lot. I didn't foresee at all that happening at the time, but now that I'm in it, yeah, it's a different ball game altogether, especially if you have children. Oh my goodness, that's a different level of stress, you know, because you're interrupted all the time.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Now, yeah, maybe you can delve deeper into, you know, just what are your thoughts about the productivity of working from home? I mean, in general.
I think for me, because in 2018, when I decided to work from home, it was a choice that I had to make. So I had to make it work. So already from the onset, I was like, okay, I'm going to be working from home. So I need to structure it in a way that I still see results, but being in a comfortable space. So it was a matter of self-discipline to say, what are my waking hours? How am I going to do this? And, you know, being at home, it's mentally, you're supposed to be relaxed at home, but now you're saying to yourself, you have to be working at home. So it's also a mental thing that you need to adjust to say, as much as I'm at home, I need to have time for work at home and then time for home issues, if I'll put it that way. So it has been, I guess in the beginning it was tough, but then by the time COVID hit, I'd already got into the routine of, okay, this is how it is at home. You've got kids to take care of, you've got yourself to take care of, you've got husband or whoever you stay with, you need to now balance it out. So for me, because I love flexibility, I was enjoying being at home. I don't like this 8 to 5. Even if you're done at 3, you have to wait till 5 o'clock to go home. I was like, no, I want that flexibility.
For myself, in terms of productivity, I felt that in the beginning, there was a lot of adjustment, especially, you know, we are talking about a company who are so used to doing things the traditional way, right? They are so used to their own systems in place, their process, the meetings, you know, endless meetings and all that. And then suddenly now everybody just have to be at home. So there was a lot of adjustments in terms of when you want something, you need to learn how to communicate it in a way of either a virtual meeting or through a well-structured email. Because I think a lot of times we take things for granted. When in the office, we're able to see face to face. You know, it's just so much easier I walk over to your place and, hey, you know what, this is what I did, yada yada. So my email is probably like, as discussed. That's pretty much it. But when we're home, that's when the adjustment really happened, because you need to be able to, you know, say it better either through an email so that you don't keep calling your colleagues. Because at first, I think that was the stress everyone was going through. You get calls all the time because, you know, everybody is trying to adjust to explaining things, how things should go. So I felt that was the first part of adjustment. And I think the second part of adjustment is the boundaries. You know, I think, Pepe, you pointed out really well. Back then, when you're in the office, there is like a boundary. So once you leave office, you know that, okay, I'm out of work. You know, if I feel like I want to open my laptop at home, that's my choice. But it's my choice. I'm not expected to do so in some way. But now that you work from home, I felt the boundaries are really blurred, because you are starting at 9, say for example 9 a.m. and then after that by 9 p.m. you realize, hey, there's something that I need to do, and you figure, well, I'm at home, this is my workstation, I'll just continue, right? Like, why wait to the morning when, you know, I'm at home anyway? Like the first, second day, it's fine. And I think everybody kind of have that expectation that, hey, you're at home anyway, so why don't we just get it done? But I think if that prolongs, it creates stress that you at one point, you don't really know why you're stressed, but you feel stressed because that same spot that you are supposed to be relaxing, suddenly now you're working all the time, and you kind of creeps on you, you know, without you realizing that stress that, hey, I'm supposed to deliver at like the weirdest hours, and the meetings are back to back. Because back then, to get to a physical meeting, you need to have a room, etc. But now it's just check out your calendar. Hey, there's an empty slot. I'll book your time. So there are back-to-back meetings all the time as well. So I think it's just a matter of really adjusting and find what kind of like schedule works. And I think probably Pepe, you are definitely a master of that by now, because you know you have already started that since back then. Yeah. So yeah. So that.
No, that's actually that's very real. I think call oneself doing overtime. This is working from home is serious overtime.
Yeah.
You lose track of time. You can't believe it now. I'm working up till 1 o'clock in the morning because there's so much to do. And then every day, this is what I do. Okay, tomorrow I'll wake up early and fresh, 6 o'clock. I'll get things going. I'll end the day early as well, so that I can get to rest at night. And never happens. Never happens. Even if you wake up early, and then the child comes and wants this, and by the time you know it, it's already lunch hour, and then you start cooking. You know, the kitchen is there, so you start cooking, and then you start sending your child to school. Then you come back. It takes a while. You feel sleepy during the day, so you tend to take naps as well in between. Sometimes it goes overboard. Then when you wake up, you need to get back into the the focus, and what do you do there? All right. So how do you on this issue, on this challenge, I think a lot of us are facing, what are your tips to manage those distractions?
So for me, like we've mentioned, I've got two little, no, they're not really little, but 5 and 7. So they're very active and wants attention. So what I've done is we've had a discussion to say, Mommy's now working from home. So Mommy, even if she's at home, she is at work at some point. So you get to say, this is when I'm in this space, this is my workspace, right? So what I did with them, for example, with me, we made a poster together, a stop sign. So when that poster is on the door, it means you cannot disturb Mommy. Even Mommy is busy, you can't, because maybe I'm on a call, during a session, I cannot afford a distraction. So they know if that poster is on the door, Mommy, you can't go in. But if it's not there, they know you knock first, and here if Mommy says, okay, come in. So it's a matter of you have to have, demarcations to say this space is for this space is for that, and have that conversation with whoever you're staying with so that you all understand each other. So even depending with how your home is created, you need to, perhaps maybe my husband is maybe in a meeting and I need to switch on the microwave. So you need to know, okay, what time do I need to do my microwave things, or what time do I need to do my whatever, because it's going to affect where he is. So you have to really sit down and like plan to say, okay, this is the setup of my home. What would work best? And then give yourself time, be very disciplined. I'm going to work from 10 to 12. So everything that needs to be done, it has to be between 10 and 12. If it has to carry over if it doesn't finish. So you really have to say, okay, I'm going to work from this time to this time, because now if you've got family, you need to incorporate them as well, because you're at home. So it's unfair for my kids for me to work the whole day when they can see Mommy's there, and because I want to accomplish whatever I need to do. So sometimes I have to sacrifice to say, you know what, this can wait. So you have to know your priorities. This can wait. This can be done. This is urgent. So prioritizing as well your time to say this time is, because you need, as much as work is important, you need time with family. You need time with husband. You need time with whatever. So it's a matter of discipline. Know what you need to do when, and structure it. So it's a planning It's not just, okay, I'm working at home. Oh yeah, because like you said, the kitchen is right there. You can just say, oh, I'm so hungry. Let me just cook. Let me just, do this. But is it time to do that? Do you really need that or not? So it's discipline as well. So that's how I've been coping, categorizing everything, demarcations, being really precise, and discipline.
It's like back to school, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
the timetable. I think
Yes.
we should even buy the bells, like a clock, like an alarm clock. Pring, it's time for you to
Yes.
rest. Pring, it's time for you to go back to work. Okay? Because
Because you can the whole night. Because no one is there to stop you. The computer is right in front of you. So if you don't tell that to yourself, no one is going to tell you. And when you burn out, it's you who burns out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think you raised two very important values, Pepe, here: discipline and also prioritization. And
Yes.
that's really the essence of everything, especially working from home. So the first one, self-discipline, that's something that I pretty much lack of in general, because I've always been more of a spontaneous person. So to me, it took me a while to understand that discipline means when the time is, if I decided that at 5 o'clock I want to do yoga for an hour, it doesn't matter if my work is done or not, I should pause right at 5, do my yoga, and then I'll continue maybe at 6.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, because I think when it first started, when I was trying to get to the new routine, it always happened when it's 5, but my work is not done. And I can't get my friend of mine out of work. I told myself I just want to finish it. Yoga can wait.
Yeah.
Because yoga is not the most urgent thing in the world, right?
Oh, just wait
But
till 6,
guess
and
what?
then 7 until 8, and then you will never do it.
Yes. And when that happened too often, you get really angry at yourself. You feel that this thing in you is like, oh my God, I felt like I said I want to do that, but I didn't do, and you get really angry, and then you start to get angry at work, angry at your, maybe your boss. But then at the end of the day, it's important to sit down and ask yourself, like, could you have done it? Could you have just, do what you want to do? And at the end of the day, you realize that everything is really your choice. It's a
Yes.
self, it's whether you are consciously making the choice or not. So I think that is very important, discipline as well as prioritization. Because like Pepe mentioned, right, you need to prioritize your family as well. So in this manner, like yoga may seems like it's not the most urgent thing, but is it important? It is. It is, because the fact that we don't go out that much also means that we are constantly immobile. We don't move that much, and that's really bad long term for our health. So to really consciously stop and do your workout or whatever that you need to do, it's really important. It is priority. So so that's something that we really need to be very conscious of the decisions that we make. And also, Sarah, just to let you know, I think sometimes when you're tired during lunchtime, you take a nap. And I've come to understand that that's entirely okay. Because, we are in the new routine, right? And if you were working in the office, you don't need nap time, but in the office, you don't need to set time aside to cook for your kids, to send your kids. You have other arrangements, right? But right now, and 1 hour lunch is no longer a 1 hour lunch at home. And 1 hour lunch means that you need to prepare, you need to cook, you need to feed your kids. It's so much more. It's no longer just a 1 hour lunch. So I feel there are also times that we need to really care for ourselves. Self-care is important. Like if you need a break on the day, you need a break, and to be okay with it, as long as you still get your things done, and to have a nap, when you have to. I felt that's something that, you can incorporate in your daily routine as well.
And it's true. I agree with you, because it's like you have to be honest with yourself. And when you need a break, take it. But don't think I need a break. If you get what I'm trying to say, when you need that break, take it. But don't just hide behind the finger and saying, "Oh, I need my nap," and you don't really need the nap. You're probably running away from a situation that is ahead of you. So being honest with yourself is good, because it will catch up with you. If yoga motivates you or relaxes your mind, and you're not doing yoga, and it means your mind is not going to be relaxed. So at some point it's going to catch up, and then what do? Like you said, you start arguing with everyone, angry with everyone, because that your mind or your body needed that, but it seemed like it can wait. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, it did get overboard yeah, when MCO was first announced, and it got overwhelming at my end, that I kept on going and going, including weekends as well, because now that when you're on your own, you're not working for any organization, you tend to panic and you tend to feel that I'm not doing this enough because I'm working for myself now, so I need to do more, I need to do more. So it was up till I think it was May, I started reflecting. My body almost broke down again, like how it did a couple of years back, completely shut down for 3 weeks. And I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to go through that period anymore. So let's just see what I can do here. Now I reflected and see, when I was working corporate, I used to use the old-fashioned diary that you write a lot, and I used to use that diligently. Every single thing I write down and make sure I follow up. And that I thought was the missing element. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just trying to squeeze everything into one day, and that's a disaster. So now I've never used. I'm using the e-calendar, and I write down every single thing realistically what I'm going to do tomorrow, and that includes exercising. And I've also blocked out Saturday, Sundays is fully rest days, because I need to be fresh in the on Monday morning. If not, things will crumble again.